This is a short instructional video illustrating techniques for cleaning data in the first phase of digitizing records from the Hastings County Directory of 1879. The first step is to convert the PDF format into a digital format that we can use. To do this, we use an online OCR converter called onlineocr.net. It will convert images and PDFs to doc formats, Excel formats, or text formats. We're going to drop a file on the button that says Select File. Make sure this is set for English. And I think in this case, we will not use the doc format or the text format, but we will go directly to Excel. Dropping the PDF onto the Select File button. Checking that our settings are correct, we click Convert. We wait a few seconds. In a few moments, down here in this area, a preview will appear. If the preview looks viable, click Download Output File. And an Excel spreadsheet will be downloaded directly to your download folder. Let's see what that looks like. The first step is to enable editing by clicking here. The data needs to be developed into a format we can use in columns. To do that, we will select column A, which is really where all of the data resides at the moment. Using the Data tab and clicking on Text to Columns, we will activate the Convert Text to Columns wizard. Be sure that Delimited is checked here. If it is, click Next. The delimiter in this case is a comma in each record, so we'll check comma and uncheck tab. This is a preview of what it will look like when we're finished. We click Finish, and the various data points have been assigned to columns. They're still scrunched up too much to be readable, so we're going to spread them out. We'll select these columns. We'll use the Home tab in this case. We'll go over to Format Cells, and under Format Cells, we'll click Auto Fit Column Width. Here the data has been allocated to columns, but we can see right away that we do have some cleaning to do with the data before we can use it. I'm going to highlight the records that need to be adjusted. Let's take a look at fixing each of these in turn. In row 1, this record appears to be an anomaly and doesn't relate to the data. I've selected the entire row. I'm going to right-click and then left-click on Delete to remove that row. We know this is the Sydney part of the directory. What I really need to know here is what page it is. So we'll keep 353 as the page number because that is useful. Coming down to record number 4, what's wrong with this one? Well, what's happened here is that B and A have been split and assigned to different columns, pushing everything to the right. We need to move it back to the left. So in this column, we will add the A letter, go to this cell, Control X to cut it, move it to here, and Control V to paste it in the proper place, and we fix that record. Record 6, the problem is a common one here. The junior part gets assigned to a new column, which it shouldn't have. Junior should be with the first name. So we'll put in uppercase J, lowercase r, and we've taken care of junior. For the rest of this, it's simply a case of moving it to the left. We'll select all of it, Control X to cut it, move it one column to the left, Control V to paste it, and that is fixed. In this one here, we have a couple of things to look at. It looks as if the OCR process has inserted a hyphen in Beckwith. By checking the PDF, we can make sure, but I'm quite positive that the name actually here is Beckwith. William A. Blacksmith, all good so far. Here we have a problem though. It's put two of these together and hasn't read the comma properly. So what we'll do is come to this cell. We'll take out this part here with a Control X, move here where it should be, click back at the top where we can edit, Control V to paste it here, and we now have that one corrected too. Here's one that we missed on the initial sweep through. 1 should be an F, and that's a fairly common recurring error in OCR work. We'll change that to an F, which stands for freeholder, H for householder. Belcour. Belcour, the problem here is it did not read the comma properly between Joseph and Yeoman. This has to be moved to the right. We can do that by taking these cells here, Control X to cut, clicking one cell to the right, Control V to paste. They're correct. Now we'll come back here with taking the Yeoman out, Control X to take out Yeoman. It needs to be here. We'll paste it back here in the editing section and hit the Enter key, and Yeoman is correct again. In the next one here for Bennett, I notice we've missed another one here. This is F here. And we're going to have to go back to our PDF to see what should be entered here. It turns out that Mr. Bennett collects his mail in sterling, so we add sterling. And we'll need to take out the extraneous letter F here because it doesn't belong there at all. Now that one's correct. For Mrs. Mary A. Bennett, the A again got assigned to a different column. We need to move the A over here with Mary. So to do that, we'll just go to Mary's cell, put in a capital A, and then we can move with a Control X to cut these. Select one cell to the left, Control V to paste. We fixed that one. We missed the wall bridge here. This again is 1 substituted for F. We'll fix that. When it comes down here to Morden Bird, who's a cheesemaker, again, the comma was missed. These two cells, Control X to cut them, and Control V to paste them. We will take out the 8th concession here, Control X to cut that out, and we'll position ourselves there and up in the editing section and paste that in. We might want to make these two cheesemakers say the same thing. I'm tempted to go with this one, the top one, so I will use a fill down to copy that cell onto this one. In cell record at least 28, we have this part again confusing here. That's interesting. Maybe we'll just take all of that and paste it in here, then cut out the parts we don't want. Now let's see. This is the concession column, so we want concession. This is the lot column. We want part of lot 33. Let's start there. We want to take out the concession part, and we want to take out the post office part. This one, we want the concession part and none of the rest. And in this one, we want the post office and the rest can go. And we fixed that up. Record 30, again, it's our junior-senior problem. So Henry is senior. We'll simply uppercase S, lowercase r, and that leaves this cell open. However, we do see that there is a problem here, that these two are already in the correct place, but this one is not. Let's copy that one. Come over here and we'll overwrite the original senior. Well, Let's try that again. We'll type it in. And we'll take out Yeoman here, leaving the concession column correct. Coming down further, Charles R. Bonesteel. This is a fairly common error too. There's two of them in this one. This one ET is always first. It's the way the OCR does it. So we'll insert a 1 and an S there for first concession. But another common mistake is an E for a C. We'll fix both of those, and that one looks correct. Just above that, Mr. Boardman also has a problem with a 1. Should be an F. There we are there. Norval Bonesteel, interesting. These three columns can be Control X cut and Control V moved one column over. This one's going to have, now another way to do this rather than cut and paste is to just fill down. That's Yeoman. And coming over to Norval here, we've got to remove the extra punctuation as well as the word Yeoman. We have that. For record 44, Thomas Boyle. Everything looked pretty good till we got to here, but it's BA 13. I'm pretty sure this is lot 13. We'll do that, and we'll move his post office box from there with a cut and paste over to here. Now, one last quick check. We spot here, we've got another Frankfurt, one that should be an F. And you will have to do a final check on these. There's another Belleville one that is a 1 instead of an F. That seems to be a fairly frequently occurring issue here. So that will be one to check when we're doing the township records. Another frequent mistake is a misspelling of the word lot, although the originals are pretty good so far in this particular document, so that may not occur as frequently as it could. We saw one example over here in the concession column where the concession word or abbreviation was misspelled. Now, just as a final check here, I'm going to insert a row. Essentially, the information that you would send to the project manager is this. We want the surname, the given name, we'll call this occupation. The concession information, the lot information, we'll call this column the post office information. So we have 6 columns: surname, given name, occupation, concession, lot, post office. Don't worry about periods. Simply worry about the spelling of the names. Worry about, for example, here we have a misspelling that I had missed earlier. It's Yeoman. Whoops. We'll just take caps lock off there for a second. Yeoman. And Yeoman does get misspelled fairly frequently, as does woman. And in both cases, it's often a substitution of an E for an A. So you end up with yeomen and women, plural. The rest of these look fairly good. I probably will be changing the word laborer to a conventional spelling using the letter U, but I can do all of that in the final phase of editing the data. Now, that may not be a complete summary of everything to do, but it certainly would get us started. This format right here would be what to submit to the project manager. If you have any questions, by all means email me as quickly as you can.